in order to experience an amazing life, you are going to have the faith of a mustard seed. Sometimes you are going to embark on new territories, and those territories are going to be very scary and very uncertain. But you have to trust that if your intuition is guiding you to do something, then it is the right thing for you to do. You can't get caught up in the fact that, oh my gosh, my bank account looks like this. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard back from this person yet. You have to know that it's already done, and you see it in your mind's eye that it's done. You experience the reality as it being done, and you have a knowing that it is done. Because something that I've learned along the way is that things can look really, really bad before they shift for you. And I shared yesterday how when I went to San Francisco the second time, I literally had 2 suitcases, and I went there on pure faith. I had no idea where I was going to stay that night. But magically, literally in the 11th hour, something pulled through. And I had a nice warm bed to sleep in. I had a meal as well as a nice warm shower. And it worked out because I gave myself no other option than for it to work out. I never entertained the notion that it wouldn't work out. Of course, you have little things, doubts and insecurities that come up, but you don't entertain them. You don't emotionalize them and start visualizing the opposite of what you want. You always have to visualize what it is that you are intending and know that that is what is manifesting. And something about this journey is that it never gets easier, in the sense that you're always going to encounter moments where it's like, I literally need the Red Sea to part in order for this thing to happen. And when you finally ease into that and you just know that it's going to happen regardless of how it's looking, then you recognize that you literally aren't the one who's doing things. Okay, it's a greater force than you, God, universe, source, whatever you want to call it, that is making all things happen for you in your favor. Because if something wasn't supposed to happen for you, then why would you be visualizing yourself doing whatever the thing is, having whatever the thing is? You wouldn't, because it wouldn't be what you were supposed to do. And it's so funny because a lot of us emotionalize occurrences that we would not like to happen. And what ends up happening are those things that we don't even want. And this is why lately I haven't been thinking too much about the death and destruction that's on the news, because what can I actually do about that? I can't do anything about that. So what's the point of me concerning myself with something that I literally can't do anything about, and then catastrophizing, oh my gosh, like what would happen if I was in that situation, and blah, blah. I saw a comment on Twitter earlier today, and I've really been limiting my time on Twitter. I haven't really been spending too much time on it because a lot of what's going on is people talking about politics, people talking about what's going on with the hurricanes, people talking about things that induce a lot of fear and anxiety in people. And I know that given I'm in the midst of manifesting some really amazing things for myself, that's the last thing that I should be looking at. And it's honestly the last thing that you should be looking at, because if you are focusing too much on these things, you're gonna subconsciously manifest disaster in your own life. And I know this to be true because it literally happened to me. All right. So I was scrolling on Twitter and I see this person say that she lives in Chicago and she is anxious and fearful of what's going on for the people in Florida who are in the path of Milton. Now that's insane, right? Because she doesn't even live anywhere near where the hurricane will be hitting. And yet she is plagued by these feelings of fear, anxiety, because of all of the news media that she's consuming that is putting people in a state of fear. And it's so interesting because I also think about when there was that submersive and they had a countdown of how much air the people in the submersive had until it was lights out for them forever. And we found out later that they actually passed away within like the first day, right? So they had this countdown on the screen. They got people's emotions involved with it. And people were literally having panic attacks, okay? I remember there was this TikToker, because I was on TikTok at the time, who shared that she was, you know, up late at night and she didn't know what to do. She was thinking about how much air they had left. And that's one of my major qualms with the news, because they don't really care about people. They want to put you in a state of fear so that you can be controlled and so that you can't actually manifest the life that you want, okay? We all have so much power, but if we're all tuning into fear thoughts, fear programming, guess what we're going to manifest? More fear thought programming. That's what's going to happen, right? And that's what's been happening for so long. It's been happening for me. And I even find myself wanting to tune out when people are in this rampage of wanting to complain about this, about that. And I feel bad doing it. I don't like complaining, because why should I complain? Why should you complain? The more that you complain, the more that the law of attraction is going to work in that direction and give you more things to complain about. Versus if you are on the gratitude wave, the more that you are grateful for your life, grateful for other things going on in the world, the more that the law of attraction will work in your favor and bring you more things to be grateful for, okay? And when it comes to today and what I'm manifesting right now, it's honestly like two major things. And it's such a weird thing when you're so close, yet it also feels so far away at the same time. And you literally just have to deal with it. Like, one of the major things that I did today is I laid down because I didn't have work today, and I was playing frequencies and I was just imagining what I'm manifesting, right? And those are the moments when you have to plug into that practice the most, because it's when your nervous system is the most at like, And even earlier, I was doing some deep breathing techniques. I'm like, this is going to work out. It's already worked out. Everything that's coming up that is showing me something that is contrary to what I already see in my mind is literally just a test. It's trying to see, am I going to fold? Am I going to give in to how I've been going about my life for most of my life? Or am I going to decide to choose faith? Am I going to decide to have the faith of a mustard seed and believe and know that it's already real? I don't have to do anything. I don't have to try and figure things out, because it's already figured out. And the more that I actually try to press and figure things out, the worse it gets, like in a weird way, because sometimes you literally can't do anything. Sometimes you get to the end of your rope and you just have to jump and trust that there is a hand there to catch you. And I know when it comes to my life, there have been so many times, actually literally every single time that I've really jumped and I've had the faith of a mustard seed, I've always been caught. Literally always been caught. There's never been a time that I haven't been caught. And that's one of the things that I'm remembering in this moment, is that I've been here before. I know what this feels like. And in all honesty, this time around, I'm way less anxious. I don't actually feel anxious at all. I feel very calm, which is very interesting, a very different turn of events. But I'm sharing this because I am telling this to myself, but I'm also telling this to you because when I share the manifestations that I've received, you'll know, you'll just know, okay? So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. And know that you must always have the faith of a mustard seed, because what you want, God wants for you. Peace.